Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us. It is Friday.
Yay!
It is the 28th of November. You're watching the Weather Network, and I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and we got a mess on the QEW. If you normally use the QEW through Trafalgar, don't. Let's go to right here.
I saw it live.
I know, westbound.
Completely over the barrier.
Yeah, we're going to have major delays both directions here for much of the morning. It looks like a fairly difficult crash scene to clean up. So you're going to find major delays. I would use Dundas and come anywhere between Dorval right over to the 403.
All right, let's take a look at our current temperatures. It is in a snow squall warning. Other places in special weather statements. We'll talk more about that coming up in your long range and the warm up. That's going to be happening in a couple of days. Talk more about that in a minute. But first, here's Tom. High pressure is going to be in place for today, so we will see a little bit of sunshine, but those squalls are going to be continuing with those northwesterly winds. By tonight, changing to a southerly flow, we've got a system coming in. This is going to be starting off as snow through the overnight tonight, and then as our temperatures warm up throughout the day tomorrow, we could transition into mixing. And then on Sunday, because we are going to be so mild, we're seeing a daytime high of 10 degrees. We are going to see that transition from snow to rain. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Friday. It is the 28th of November. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and we're starting off with major problems out there. Not only do we have a crash on the QEW, just at Trafalgar, where a truck's gone over the guardrail. There were injuries involved in this. 3 lanes westbound are blocked, 2 lanes eastbound are blocked.
Wow.
That's going to be there for a long time. Now we have another crash, several PIs happening, personal injury crashes. One of them on westbound 401 at James Snow, crash just happened, 2 lanes are blocked. We got another one on Highway 7 and 8 out in the Kitchener area. There's 2 lanes blocked there. So we're starting to see an awful lot of slick conditions out there, so be careful.
Very, very light snow falling in the GTA yesterday. We had a bit of a melt, and then it froze overnight. So temperatures right now are cold. 10 to 15 centimeters, certainly not out of the question. We're looking to get traced to a few centimeters, more so tonight through the city of Toronto. But we can still see those streamers coming in from Huron that could affect us.
Yeah, so we're going to have to
talk more about the warm-up on the way for the weekend. But first, Tom, update us on those accidents. We've got a little bit of high pressure in place today, more so to the north, but that doesn't mean we're not going to see any sunshine. We'll see a mix of sun and cloud today with a few isolated flurries. The bulk of the moisture is going to be coming in later on tonight, just ahead of this warm front. There's a little bit of snow for us, just a few centimeters. We start to warm up throughout the day tomorrow. We'll see that snow transition to a bit of mixing, and then more moisture coming in for Saturday overnight and into Sunday. But because temperatures are going to be mild, we're going to see rain with this next system, a daytime high of 10 for Sunday. Snow squalls and cold temperatures certainly the story for today. We do have a warning, a snow squall warning through the Saugeen Shores, through Kincardine, southern Bruce County. We could pick up about 10 to 15 centimeters. Other areas through the downtown core, through Hamilton towards London, we're looking at trace to 2 amounts. Downtown London could pick up closer to 5. It's snowing there right now. It's also snowing through Peterborough and in through Wyerton, Muskoka. If you have a long commute, those areas could be even more slippery than they are here. Now, this afternoon, we're certainly going to be dealing with a bit of a wind chill. It's going to feel a few degrees cooler than our forecast high. And we do have the squalls continuing, and then we've got some system snow pushing in later on this evening, just ahead of this warm front. Temperatures, however, will be warming up. Hi there. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. It is November the 28th. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. It's a happy Friday if you don't have to drive on the QEW
or
the 401 through Milton. So we've got big troubles out there in the Oakville area, at Trafalgar. Several lanes are blocked. We'll take you there coming up, and that could be there for hours.
Snow squalls certainly making some of the roads slick. But Tom, you were mentioning not only how slick it was on the roads, but people need to be careful underfoot.
Well, just your front walkway. Mine was quite slick, actually, and so you're going to have to be careful out there as you head out.
Which I think a lot of people will be happy about. Those details just ahead, but first, here's Tom. Well, we are going to see a mix of sun and cloud today, mixed with a few isolated flurries on and off this morning and through the afternoon. We should see a little bit of moisture coming in ahead of this warm front tonight. We could see a few centimeters through much of the GTA. Once that passes through, we'll get into the warm sector. Temperatures are going to be bumping up, and by Sunday, we're looking at a lot of Pacific moisture coming in, and that is going to be bringing us some rain. Here are the bands coming in right now across the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay. We are seeing pretty intense squalls firing up. Some areas could pick up 10 to 15 centimeters. Other areas, not so much. We're looking at 5 to 10. And then the downtown core through Hamilton and down through Niagara, trace to 2 centimeters. This high pressure to the north is going to give us a little bit of sunshine throughout the day today, but we do have some moisture on the way. We are going to be seeing some cloud cover and some snow developing through the evening and overnight. Temperatures are going to be warming up with that southerly flow. So we are going to be seeing a bit of a transition throughout the day tomorrow, possibly a bit of a rain-snow mix, and then that Pacific moisture comes in on Sunday and is going to be giving us rain, but really mild temperatures with that southerly wind. So if you are watching the Grey Cup from inside, you'll be just fine. We're looking at a daytime high of 10 degrees Sunday, cooling down after the cold front.
This weather.
From around the world in 60-second videos, you can head to our website, theweathernetwork.com. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Friday, the 28th of November, and it is a cold start to the day. In fact, it is the coldest day of the week so far. It's chilly. We're looking at minus single digits, feeling colder when you factor in the wind chill. We have snow squalls coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. The lakes are still not frozen. The air is warmer than the water, the air is colder than the water, and that's why we're picking up all this moisture. Places like Kincardine and the Saugeen Shores, we're looking at 10 to 15 centimeters. They're actually in a squall warning right now. Downtown, we're looking at a trace to a few centimeters, moisture moving in. A lot of cloud cover throughout the day today. There are those bands, and just ahead of this warm front, that's where we're going to pick up the bulk of our moisture. Through the weekend, we've got good news and bad news. The good news is that we warm up with this southerly flow, so by Sunday, we're looking at a daytime high of 10 degrees. The bad news is that we're going to see some rain with it. I'm going to turn things over to Tom right now. He's an update on your commute. Okay, well, now I want to know what he's buying.
Yeah, exactly.
With his Louis Vuitton towel.
24 hours waiting in line.
I wonder how good the deal is. I wonder what he's buying. I want to know what he's buying. Michelle, find out what he's buying.
They would have to pay me before I would do that.
Tom, what if it was like the thing you've wanted most in your entire life?
Then they'd have to pay me to do that.
Okay, well.
I'm not lining up for 24 hours for anything.
To each their own, I guess. All right, well, we do have a little bit of snow, and thankfully the folks waiting in line at the Eaton Center are not waiting in line in, say, Kincardine, where they have a snow squall watch and warning in place. Now I'm going to turn things over to Tom before I get to your long-range forecast and find out how those accidents are faring. Well, this afternoon, we are going to continue to see these squalls along Huron and Georgian Bay, and it's going to be more so this evening where we see the bulk of the moisture coming in just ahead of this warm front. A little bit of snow throughout Toronto. When this cold front or warm front moves through, our winds are going to shift. We're going to be sitting comfortably into that warm sector, so by Sunday, temperatures warming up significantly, but then we do have some Pacific moisture coming our way, so a daytime high of 10 means nothing but rain for the GTA. Well, we'll start off talking about today, those streamers that Tom was just mentioning. Here they are on the radar coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. It's pretty intense in times. We do have a warning for the Saugeen Shores through Kincardine and southern Bruce County, 10 to 15 centimeters, quite possible throughout the day today. If you're traveling in that direction, be prepared for whiteout conditions. Now, through the downtown core, we're looking at a trace to a couple of centimeters, and the bulk of our moisture is going to be coming in later on this afternoon in through the evening, just ahead of this warm front. Now, this warm front is going to help us with our temperatures. It's going to set us up to get right into that warm sector for tomorrow. So we're going to see daytime highs above the freezing mark. And then on Sunday, we're going to see a daytime high of 10. But we've got Pacific moisture flooding in, and that is going to be bringing us some rain. Cold front moves through, and then we cool down again throughout the day on Monday. So 4 degrees tomorrow, 10 for Sunday, and then 4 degrees with some sun for Monday. I would have to say that, I don't know, Tom and I kind of agree. You'd have to pay us money to go and stand in that line.
Big.
Would you pay someone else to go and stand in the lineup for you?
No, I wouldn't.
I might.
Would you? Yeah. Did you find anybody do your Christmas shopping yesterday?
I'm going to do it online, I've decided.
Are you really?
I am.
Really?
I'm not even going to step foot in a store.
Okay.
So my husband's clothes may not fit him.
I wish you... yeah. Any size. I'll take any size.
Yeah.
Just send it to me.
Just bring
I want it delivered. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unfortunately, these squalls are continuing. Yesterday, we saw some really slick roads, but enough to make the roads slick. We'll talk more about that coming up and your weekend forecast. But first, here's Tom. Those lights kind of looked festive. Yeah. No, not so much. All right. Today, we do have that risk of snow squalls moving in through the GTA. The best timing for our moisture, the heaviest, we're not getting a ton, but is going to be this evening ahead of that warm front. And then we get into the warm sector throughout the day tomorrow, so we are going to be seeing temperatures bump up to above the freezing mark. And then Sunday, Pacific moisture comes in. We see rain, but a beautiful daytime high of 10 degrees. Well, we are going to continue to see these snow squalls throughout the day today. A warm-up is on the way. I'll get to that in just a moment. As you can see on the radar, the heaviest bands are coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. We are going to continue to see these on and off throughout the afternoon. May see a few flurries through the downtown core, but our chance for the heaviest moisture, I mean, we're talking trace to a few centimeters, is going to come in this evening, just ahead of this warm front. We'll see a lot of cloud cover through the overnight. There's that bulk of the moisture. Tomorrow morning, we could see some mixing before it transitions to rain for Sunday. Snow squalls coming in off of Huron and Georgian Bay. For the meantime, we are going to continue to see those squalls on and off throughout the day. They may even reach down towards the GTA. We do have a warm front that will be approaching the lower Great Lakes, and that is going to bring us a little bit of moisture through the overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. It'll start off as snow, but as our temperature warms up, transition into mixing, and by Sunday, it will be rain. All right, thanks so much, Michelle. I have to say, I did wear my parka today and my gloves. I forgot my toque, and I missed it.
And you missed it?
Yeah.
Oh. You should carry one in the vehicle.
I really should.
In your safety kit. You have one, don't you?
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
I bet you don't.
Why are you giving me that face?
I don't
I'll
believe
take you out to my truck right now and I will show you that I have
All right.
one. Of course I do. As soon as I had a baby, all that stuff changed.
Okay. Good.
Do you have one?
Yes.
You do.
I have two. I do. I really do.
Let's take a look at the radar. Certainly not out of the question. In the downtown core, we're looking at trace amounts. We'll talk more about that coming up. But first, Tom, give us an update on what's happening. We are going to be seeing some snow later on this afternoon because of those streamers, and we're also going to see some system snow by tonight. We've got a warm front moving in through the GTA, and this is going to be bringing us the chance of a few centimeters. By tomorrow, we won't clear. We'll still see quite a bit of cloud cover and some scattered flurries, possibly a transition to a bit of a rain-snow mix as our temperatures warm up, because we're going to be sitting in the warm sector, and we're going to see some showers moving in throughout the day on Sunday. And temperatures, they're going to be mild. We're bumping up to a daytime high of 10 degrees, but then behind the cold front, we return to more seasonal values. On Monday, a high of 4.
If you happen to be going out doing some shopping, are you going out, Emily?
No. I do all of my shopping online. I can't handle the crowds. I just can't do it. All right, we do have squalls coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. That's going to be kind of the trend throughout the day today. They may even reach as far south as the downtown core, but we're looking at trace amounts. We do have a system that's going to be moving through later on tonight, and that's going to give us, throughout the GTA, the bulk of our moisture. When I'm talking bulk, I mean trace to a few centimeters. And then by tomorrow morning, it could switch over to a bit of a rain-snow mix because temperatures are going to be warming up. By Sunday, we have winds coming in from the south, fairly strong winds, and they're going to help bump our temperatures to double digits. But we do have a push of Pacific moisture coming in, and that is going to be bringing us rain. After the cold front moves through for Monday, we return to more seasonal values. So we go from 10 on Sunday to 4 on Monday to -2 on Tuesday. Thanks so much, Michelle. Yeah, it's certainly a cold start to the day today. It's the coldest day of the week.
Yeah,
Remember Monday?
Yeah.
20 degrees.
Well, that's right. I mean, over the weekend it's going to be milder too, as you'll tell in the long range. But really, it's quite icy out there right now, and we've had a lot of cars sliding off roads, people falling out there. So just be careful.
We've got streamers coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay, Muskoka. It's going to be a slippery day on the roads, and it's faring to be already quite slippery. And Tom, do you have a good feeling that weather has contributed to some of the accidents this morning? Streamers coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay, certainly going to be intensifying throughout the day today. And then we've got system snow on the way. So through the overnight, quite a bit of cloud cover. Flurries will begin throughout the early morning hours. And then once our temperatures warm up, when that warm front moves through, we are going to see that transition to a bit of mixing. Now, come Sunday, we've got another system approaching the lower Great Lakes. This one's bringing with it a ton of Pacific moisture and a warm southerly flow. So our temperatures bumping up to double-digit territory, but it's also going to be quite wet. So if you're inside watching the Grey Cup, you're fine. But if you're outside, grab an umbrella. 10 degrees for Sunday, and then dropping to more seasonal values behind the cold front for Monday, only seeing a daytime high of 4 for Toronto. Well, we're still looking at these streamers coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay, and that's really going to be the trend for the remainder of the weekend, I should say. We do have our winds shifting to a more southerly direction, so our system snow will be coming in tonight for some of these areas. Now, we are going to be seeing that warm front move through, so by tomorrow, we're going to be sitting quite comfortably in that warm sector, so the snow that we're seeing late tonight and into tomorrow morning could transition into a bit of a rain-snow mix before tapering off. And then on Sunday, a new system approaches. A lot of Pacific Pacific moisture coming in, and this is going to be bringing us rain, but it's also going to help us out with some double-digit temperatures. We're looking at 10 degrees for Sunday, but by Monday, returning to more seasonal value. Now, where we could also see delays today because of weather is along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay. We do have snow squalls coming off of the lakes. The air is still a lot colder than the water, so that's why we're seeing all that moisture being picked up in the form of snow. Temperatures today staying cold, so this snow is going to stick around. We're looking at the potential for 5 to 10 centimeters through Kincardine, down through Goderich, Saugeen Shores, Kincardine, and southern Bruce County, all in a squall warning at this time. We are going to see more snow when our next system comes in later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. This is going to be bringing us warmer temperatures as well, so the snow for tomorrow could transition into a bit of a rain-snow mix before transitioning to straight rain come Sunday when we have a new system of Pacific moisture coming through. We're looking at double-digit temperatures for Sunday, looking at the high of 10 and then back to seasonal values throughout the day on Monday, a daytime
This
high of
weather
4.
segment.
Hi there, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Friday. It is the 28th of November. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and we've got a landslide, and it's not good. 403.
It's here in Ontario.
In Hamilton. We have on the 403, just between Main and York Boulevard, we've got part of the hill collapsing with water pouring out. Trees have fallen on and hit trucks. So we've got trees down on the road. We've got tons of earth down on the road and rocks. So they're going to have to remove all of this. So right now they're blocking all lanes of the eastbound 403. They may close the 403 completely through Hamilton. So that is a good area to avoid for the next several hours.
Thankfully it happened. I mean, it's never good for something like this to happen, but thankfully it happened at 6:45 and not 6:45.
Well, they're trying. That's right, and they're trying to assess it. The officer on the scene is concerned there may be another landslide because there's more water pouring out of the side of the hill. So they may close it down completely.
All right. Well, to make matters worse, we've got snow squalls happening in some areas. Not so.
In the in-town roads as well. So just be careful.
Oh, sorry. I
I'm
thought
leaving.
you were still with me, but I pushed him
you
away.
pushed me out. I'm leaving.
We've got snow accumulations anywhere between 5 to 10 centimeters throughout the day today. We've got that trough that's going to be sinking south and a warm front moving in. All those details just ahead. But first, Tom, what's going on the 403? Well, the warm front that's going to be approaching won't be doing so until tonight, and that's when we're going to see the bulk of our moisture. Not to say that we won't see any streamers coming in from the lakes, but we're going to see trace to a few centimeters ahead of that warm front, and then throughout the day tomorrow when temperatures start to warm up, we could see a bit of a transition to a rain-snow mix, and then on Sunday, we've got a brand new system coming in, but look at these southerly winds. Our temperatures are going to be bumping up to double-digit territory, but it's going to be wet. We've got rain in the forecast with that Pacific moisture. We're seeing a daytime high of 4 degrees tomorrow, 10 for Sunday, and then we cool back down behind the cold front on Monday to only a daytime high of 4 degrees. Thanks, Tom. Well, we are going to continue to see those streamers coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay throughout the day today, but the system snow can be bringing us a trace to a few centimeters by later on tonight and into tomorrow mornings. Places like Barrie could pick up 5 to 10 centimeters. It's really going to be widespread along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay. That's where you're going to see the heaviest accumulation. And most of the system snow, minus the streamers, is going to be coming up just ahead of this warm front later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. But as we get into that warm sector, the snow could very well change into a rain-snow mix, and then by Sunday, temperatures really bumping up. So we're actually going to see double-digit highs and rain as a new Pacific system moves its way in through southern Ontario. We're going to be mild for Grey Cup Day, but then on Monday, once that cold front moves through, we are back to more seasonal values, 10 for Sunday, 4 for Monday. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Network on this Friday. It is the 28th of November. I'm Emily Vukovic. A lot of people have been out and about for hours already because, of course, it is Black Friday. Usually it's in the United States, but it's come over to Canada and people have been lined up for hours. Michelle Becky's down at the Eaton Centre, and some people have been waiting for 24 to 25 hours for shoes. Thanks so much, Michelle. Yeah, it's the coldest day that we've had so far this week. So I don't know. I think that's Murphy's Law when the coldest day falls on the day people are waiting in line. That's for sure. Well, we need to consider ourselves lucky in comparison to the rest of the country because they have been dealing with incredibly cold temperatures and a lot of snow. The nor'easter that pummeled the U.S. East Coast moved its way through Atlantic Canada. Flurries coming in. Could see trace amounts, possibly a couple of centimeters. Not to say that we don't pick up anything throughout the day today, because we could with those streamers if they move just a little bit further east and south through our direction. We're still seeing them on the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay, but the system snow that's moving in for us is going to be later on this evening through the overnight just ahead of this warm front. When our temperatures start to warm up throughout the day on Saturday because of that southwesterly flow, we'll see a transition from snow to a bit of a rain-snow mix, and then Sunday we've got Pacific moisture coming in, and that is going to be bringing us double-digit temperatures, but rain. Once the cold front comes in on Monday, we cool back down to more seasonal values. Thanks, Rachel. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Friday. It is the 28th of November, and it is a very cold start to the day. Coldest start that we've had so far this week. Through the wind, feels even colder. Now, yesterday we did see a weak system move through. We did trace to a few centimeters for us, but areas along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay, 5 to 10, certainly not out of the question. We do have a snow squall warning in place for the Saugeen shores through Kincardine and southern Bruce County, 10 to 15 centimeters. That's a lot. So if you're traveling in that direction, whiteout conditions could be a bit of an issue for you today. The warm front's going to approach later on this evening and in through the overnight, and that's when we're going to see the bulk of the moisture for the city of Toronto. But when I say bulk, I mean a trace to a few centimeters. Then we're getting into the warm sector throughout the day tomorrow. Won't see a lot of precipitation, but by tomorrow evening, we've got a lot of Pacific moisture coming in, and that is going to be bringing us rain. The reason it's rain and not snow is because our temperatures are warming up with this warm southerly wind. So we're going to go from seasonal highs tomorrow at 4 degrees to a daytime high. It's balmy. 10 for Sunday. Then the cold front sweeps through and return to more seasonal values throughout the day on Monday throughout the GTA. Yeah, snow tires, certainly a good time of year to put them on, that's for sure. All right, it is Friday. It is the 28th of November. I'm Emily Vukovic. Today is a cold day. Yesterday was cold as well. We've been below seasonal for much of the week. Areas further west and north along Huron and Georgian Bay, that's where we're going to see the heaviest accumulation because of those snow squalls. We do have a warning for the Saugeen shores through Kincardine as well as in through southern Bruce County. We are going to be seeing potentially 10 to 15 centimeters. Warm front starts to approach, and our moisture is really going to be ahead of this warm front. That's our system snow. Not to say that we're not going to get anything from these bands, because we certainly could throughout the day. We get into that warm sector, and our snow will transition into a bit of a rain-snow mix, and then by Sunday, temperatures are going to bump up significantly. We're talking double digits. So all that Pacific moisture that's coming in, that is going to be falling as rain. So a very wet end to the weekend, but once that cold front moves through, we'll see high pressure moving in from Monday and into Tuesday, so we'll see a return to sunshine, but colder temperatures. So we're seasonal tomorrow at 4, 10 for Sunday, only 4 for Monday after that cold front. Then -2 for Tuesday. We start to see a little bit of a rebound to more seasonal values next week, so it actually looks a little bit more like November than it does the first week of December. Temperatures are going to stay fairly consistent right until next weekend. All right, thanks so much for that, Kelly. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is the 28th of November. It's Black Friday. A lot of people waiting in lineups to get their best deals. It's cold, though. We've got temperatures sitting into the minus single digits. I'm still seeing squalls coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay, but for the greater Toronto area, the best chance for our moisture is actually going to come in ahead of this cold front, where we are going to be seeing trace to a few centimeters of snow. Not to say that we won't be affected by the squalls, because there is a good chance that we could start to see some streamers coming in from Lake Huron and Georgian Bay. Now, what's happening over the weekend is that our temperatures are going to start to warm up because of this new system coming in. It's bringing with it a southerly flow, which means we warm up, but we do have Pacific moisture on the way, and that is going to be bringing us some rain. So for a Grey Cup Sunday, if you're spending it inside watching the game, you'll be fine. If you're going out, grab an umbrella. You'll need it. Temperatures are going to cool down behind the cold front, so for Monday, we're back to more seasonal values. 4 degrees tomorrow, a little bit of snow, possibly some mixing as we warm up, and then 10 degrees for Sunday, back to 4 on Monday, and a cold day on Tuesday, but we will see some sunshine for the city of Toronto. Thanks, Kelly. Well, today it's not going to be that bad, but some areas are going to be a little slick, and we'll show you where those snow squalls coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay are, what regions they're going to be affecting. It's Friday. It is the 28th of November. I'm Emily Vukovic, and today is Black Friday, so the sales are insane, and Michelle Mackey's been downtown Toronto at the Eaton Centre all morning long. And it's true. People have been waiting in line for over 25 hours for running shoes, right? They are brave, but at least most of them are dressed for it. They have parkas on with their hoods up. They've got mitts. They're, moving around trying to keep warm. But yeah, you're right, Michelle. Couldn't pay me enough either. Not a chance. I may pay someone to go and stand there for me. When I say system of snow, I mean a trace to a few centimeters for us, but areas a little bit further north and west up through Barrie, you could pick up 5 to 10 centimeters. That's going to be the trend for today. By tomorrow, things start to change slightly. We've got this warm front coming in. That's the bulk of our moisture coming in ahead of it. But because temperatures are going to be warming as we get into that warm sector with that southerly flow, we may see that snow transition into a bit of a rain-snow mix throughout the day tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we've got another system approaching. And this is going to bring with it a lot of Pacific moisture. So our temperatures are going to be rising with that southerly wind, but it is going to be wet. Temperatures getting up to 10 degrees. And then on Monday, back to seasonal. For more around the world in 60-second videos, you can head to our website, theweathernetwork.com. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Friday. It is the 28th of November, and it's a cold start to the day. Temperatures into the mid-single digits, feeling even colder when you factor in the wind. And tonight, -3, feeling like -6. And when I say the bulk of our moisture, I mean a trace to 2 centimeters for much of the areas just along the lake shore, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie. But areas further north and west through King Card and the Saugeen Shores, we're looking at the potential for 5 to 10, possibly even 15 centimeters. If you're heading in that direction, whiteouts could certainly be a bit of an issue for you today. Now, as this warm front approaches, that is where we're going to be seeing that snow falling. By tomorrow morning, we are going to see a transition from snow to a bit of a rain-snow mix as our temperatures warm up. We're going to be seeing a plume of Pacific moisture moving in for Sunday. The southerly flow bumping us up to double digits, but it's going to be a wet day to celebrate the Grey Cup win by the Ticats because we know they're going to win. Well, fingers crossed. But you'll be inside. If you're outside, make sure you bring an umbrella, and then we cool back down for Monday.